Also, Ikhwan, another story or a glimpse of the Salaf to show how they would reflect regarding the dunya is the story of Abdurrahman ibn Auf radiyallahu ta'ala. He was fasting, and on occasion he was fasting and food was presented to him. He was fasting. And when this food came to him, look at the mindset, my brothers. When this food came to him, he's fasting. But the food that was presented to him, it made him think. And then he said, Mus'ab ibn Umair. Mus'ab ibn Umair was killed in the battle of Uhud. He said, وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ مِنِّي. He is better than me. He was better than me. Yet when he died, all he had to his name was a cloth. And Mus'ab ibn Umair, just to emphasize of this narration, he was a companion that when he was in Mecca, he was from the nobles and came from a very wealthy family. But when he embraced Islam, his family forsaked him and stopped giving him money, stopped giving him, because he was known to be having the best garments and smelling beautiful. Wherever he went, he came to a place and he left, and others would come after. They would say Mus'ab ibn Umair was here because of the smell that he had and the rich clothing that he had. But once he chose Islam, his family gave him an ultimatum that either you choose Islam or we will forsake and not provide for you. And he chose Islam, coming from these riches. But at the battle of Uhud, when he was martyred, he only had a piece of cloth to his name, that it mentions that when you covered his head, you could see his feet. And when you covered his feet, then you could see his head. That's all he had. Gave it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he thought about this. He said, he was better than me. And then he said, this man, he only had a cloth that couldn't even cover all of his body, as we just explained. وَقُتِلَ حَمْزَ وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ مِنِّي. Hamza radiallahu ta'ala, he was killed and he was a martyr. And what? He is better than me. And then he said, ثُمَّ بُسِطَ لَنَا مِنَ الدُّنْيَا مَا بُسِطَ. That verily the world has opened up for us and we have been given from the dunya. And a narration, it mentions أَعْطَيْنَا مِنَ الدُّنْيا مَا أَعْطَيْنَا. And we have been given, meaning the riches have opened up for us. And then he says, وَقَدْ خَشِينَا أَن تَكُونَ حَسَنَاتُنَا قَدْ عُجِّلَتْ لَنَا. I fear that our hasanat, our good deeds, what we are supposed to receive, is been given us to now. It has come early. We are receiving it now. This is how he was thinking. That perhaps look what we are receiving. Look at these riches that we are given. Perhaps this is the reward that we will get here. We're not going to receive in the akhirah. And this made him shed tears, began to cry, and then he left the food. This is him reflecting, radiyallahu ta'ala an, just by receiving food. Food has come to him. And just because the richness of the food that came to him, it made him reflect and made him think that perhaps we are being given our reward here. Look, yet there was others that were better than me. But look how they were. They wasn't given these things. They didn't even have a cloth to cover them. But what is the shahid, my brothers and sisters? They reflected. They took their knowledge, what they had, and they implemented it at all times. Even food being served made them reflect.